Right, good afternoon, everybody, and welcome to a very, very special edition of My Supercar Drive Time. As you can see to my right, or well, it depends how you're looking at the screen, I suppose, we're very, very happy to welcome Ben Whibley to the show. Ben, how you doing, my friend?
I'm very well, thank you. All things considered at the moment, but I've tidied my room, got everything all ready for the chat today.
Good man. I've got a trampoline behind me. Would you believe? It's just that side, just to show everybody. I just wanted to let everybody pretend that I've been doing a load of exercise. I think my chin says otherwise. Now, Ben, what we wanted to talk about is a few things. It's a Q&A as well today. So if anybody does have any questions, please do comment. We can see them. We will read them out to Ben as well. We put a little ticker bar at the bottom. So if there's any information you want to know, please do have a little look there. Do like, do share this video, do make a comment. Like I say, we can see it. And we're here to find out about Motorsport Days and, of course, you, Ben. Now, I thought we'd just quickly get underway. 2020, we can't ignore what's going on at the minute. Where do we stand with MsD 2020? Is everything still go?
Yep, we're absolutely live. Yes, the 20th and the 21st of November, we are going to be continuing. As it stands, everything is all looking well. I mean, we're 7 months away. A lot can happen between now and then. However, we've got a lot of provisions that we've taken into place in order to make sure that we're doing our bit, shall we say. So things like we're including any visitors, things like masks, gloves, bacterial spray. We're also trying to include as much as possible things like social distancing. We're very much taking a guide on what the government are telling us, the WHO, in order to make sure that we deliver the event as safely as possible for people. But yes, very much all go. We've got I think now we've only got like 1 or 2 garages left, which is fantastic. Wow. They've all been taken up, and then upstairs in the exhibition we're about 50% full as well. So yeah, very, very much all go.
Wow, that is fantastic. Really good to hear as well. I mean, we're almost fortunate, aren't we, really, that it happened so sort of late in the year. It's almost a season close. And for us at MySuperCar, I know it's almost where we began, really, in 2018. So it holds a lot of fond memories for us. And obviously for you as well, Ben. I know a lot of people know this. We were talking about this the other day, weren't we? A hell of a lot of work goes into getting MsD organised every year, doesn't it? For 2018, the first ever show, when did you actually start work on it?
Well, I've been running events now for quite some time. It's probably about 14, 15 years in various industries. So I've understood how to launch events. I've launched 8 in my personal career. Again, all over the world, from Las Vegas, America, Middle East, Europe, and Asia as well. And really, wanted to have a look at different ways that we could launch something new that was in motorsport. And when we started talking to a lot of people within the industry, it was all about the timing had to be right. They wanted a show that was going to be, not fan based, going to be more of the serious, the buyers, the people that are coming into the sport. So I actually spent nearly 2 years before the first one happened, planning how we could put it into fruition, and that was a big task in itself to convince people in order to come on board with us. So the associations, the clubs, exhibitors, but also build a team around us. So that was pretty hard. The other side of things is that this was an idea from a golf course many years ago, playing with my friends, and I had to make the money in order to bring the show along. To pay the deposit to hire the Silverstone for 3 days isn't cheap. So it takes time in order to do that, and it's not something that I'm sitting here with hundreds of investors behind us in order to do this. It very much we had to make the money in order to pay the deposit. So it's been extremely tough. A lot of blood, sweat, and tears that have certainly gone into this, and it's crazy to think this year will be our 3rd year.
Well, I can tell you it's definitely worth it, though, Ben. It is fantastic. And what we want to do, like I said, for us, 2018 was almost the birth of MySuperCar, really. And actually, Motorsport Days 2018 was our first sort of proper event, I suppose, shall we say. And we wanted to show you a video of what we got up to at Motorsport Days 2018. I think Elaine is going to bring that video in now. So please do enjoy. It's a couple of minutes long. So just sit back and enjoy this video, Ben, of Motorsport Days Live 2018.
Good stuff.
Hello everybody, here I'm a very special guest.
I'm Scott Mansell from Drive City.
Hello everyone, I'm here with Will from Radical. Hello everybody, I'm with Matt Maxted, a partner with Graves Motorsports. Hello everybody, I'm here with Ian from Pop Band Colour. Hello everybody, I'm here with Craig from iBack UK. So I'm here with Ross Shaw, Managing Director of
Nicholson McLaren Racing.
Fantastic. Hello everybody, I'm here with Claire from Britcar Endurance Championship. Hello everybody, I'm here with Chris from Geek Motorsport.
Well, I've been racing for all of my life, and I've been coaching now for over 15 years. And after coaching for that much time, I wanted to create a resource for amateur drivers and track day drivers, and even serious racing drivers themselves. So we have driving technique tutorials and really in-depth circuit guides to help train racing drivers.
Radical are here at Motorsport Days Live, and we've brought our complete model range here to the show. So we've got the RXC Spider upstairs in the exhibition space, and then down here in the garages we've got everything from the entry level SR1 Cup car all the way through to this fantastic RXC Coupe behind us.
Oh, it's a little beast. Full fiberglass, 160 horsepower. Doesn't sound like much on paper, but with the slicks is fantastic.
So there we have it. The Moores Motorsport team have finished transforming this road-going Ford KA 1.3 litre into full Enduro KA rest specification. Ian, what does it actually do here?
Yes, I'm an artist, but not your kind of normal artist. I paint solely with radio control cars, tyres and wheels. So yeah, I don't use a paintbrush. I use cars to paint, well, motorsport and cars really.
We produce suspension products for cars, not only cars, but cars are the majority of what we do.
So Claire, tell us a little bit about the series.
Well, Britcar's been running for about 20 years. My previous owner and myself and the family took it over about 3-4 years ago. It's an endurance championship, and we run a variety from Mercedes AMGs down to a smart roadster car, so it can accept everything within the championship.
Now, Chris, can you tell me a little bit about the GT Cup Championship?
Yeah, so the GT Cup's been running for just over 11 years. We see anything from Ferraris, Aston Martins, Lamborghinis.
Well, you've been out today.
Yeah, I have.
In this fine-looking machine.
Thank
Can
you
tell us
very
more
much.
about it, please?
Yeah, sure. It's a 1972 Alfa Romeo GT AM Group 2 touring car.
Lovely.
I've done quite a few championships in Italy with the Peroni Race Series.
How'd you get on?
Really good. 2 wins, class wins. 3 years ago, I won Alfa Romeo UK Championship in UK. Yeah, thank you. And 4 years ago, I was International Female Driver of the Year with the MSA.
Excellent.
Yeah, it was cool.
Wow.
Ben. Oh, pulls at the heartstrings, doesn't it?
It's
A lot of
does.
good memories there. A lot of good memories. Now, Motorsport Days is unique, isn't it? As we saw there's an exhibition hall, and we saw the track side of things as well. So it's the best of both worlds.
Yeah, it certainly is. And again, we listened to what the industry was really looking for, and events again have changed so much over the years to what people want. When you look at going to a static event, that you see a car sitting on a stand, it's really hard for you to engage and think, right, well, how does that work? What does it drive like? What does it feel like? you go to a showroom when you go and buy a new car and you want to drive it. You take it out the road and get a real feel and an impression of what it can do. And that's what Motorsport Days Live does. The potential somebody that wants to come into motorsport or track days, or somebody that's already been racing for years, they can come along to the event. They've got 40 garages to choose from, and that could be manufacturers, clubs, race teams, and they can actually go out, experience a car. So it could be a passenger lap, or you can actually go out and drive the cars and sample them on track. And that's so unique. I mean, we haven't seen that anywhere at all. When we launched the event, that's what had to happen. And lots of different championships do their own taster days, but which are great. That that's what we need. But if you've got all of them all there in one go, whether you're an amateur driver, again coming into sport, or you're a professional driver, there is something for everybody. And it's, for me, at the first event and even the second event, walking around, I didn't want to be running the show. I wanted to be walking around and driving the cars and seeing what I wanted to race the next year. And that's something you can see the excitement on people's faces, and that's again not what you see at a lot of these other trade shows. But as you say, upstairs there's a exhibition that's going on parallel to this, so you can go downstairs, choose a car to sample, have discussions with people. It's very an open format for people to get involved, and then go upstairs and buy your race kit, get your insurance, buy your trailer, all the bits that you need, as you saw some of the interviews that you had there that can be done at the show.
Absolutely. And in the evening for the exhibitors as well, there's a nice little social gathering, a bit of a social / networking event as well. So there's a lot of value to be had at Motorsport Days. Now, you mentioned it yourself. You want to be walking around and looking at where you want to be racing. You're a racer yourself, aren't you, Ben?
Tried, shall we say? I've raced over the years, and raced against some high level racers from people on the Tocker package. Raced against Damon Hill as well in my very early days, and came up through the cage. Yeah, I did. Yeah, he. Funny, if the first time I actually met him, he pulled up right next to me in the car park, and he asked where to go, and I then we showed him around, and then I remember overtaking him a couple of times, which was even better. But I looked a little bit.
You did tell him to go the wrong way, then. You didn't tell him to go that way. I'll go this way. You go that way.
No, very much. But no, I've raced. I've always had a passion for it. The British touring cars I've watched from a very early age. Still have a dream to be on the paddock at Brands Hatch at some point, whether that happened or not, or when that'll happen, should I say. Race caterhams, single seaters, some tin tops, and done various things. Won the Caterham Academy, came up through the ranks that way, winning various championships, winning in across Germany, Belgium, and wherever. So I've got a great understanding of the industry, of how track days operate, how the motorsport side of things work, because at the end of the day I still had to make that big jump from track days into motorsport, and had to learn myself. And that everything that you see with Motorsport Days comes from my experiences within the industry. So when I first launched MotorsportDays.com, which we list all the track and test days, again, I was heavily racing at that point, and I was turning up at a race weekend, seeing people, and they were at that circuit the week before, or with a different organizer I hadn't heard of. So we decided to list all the track and test day companies across Europe. We now list, we think we'll be on about 3,000 this year, which is huge. So a lot of dates. So we're like a go compare website for track days. So you can come to our website, choose the price, the organizer, and then you're taking.
What was that website again, Ben? Sorry.
MotorsportDays.com. So make sure people go and visit that. And we're not taking a percentage cut from that. So we're not reducing your opportunity to book with any organizer. We are a portal where people can come through to click their track day, and then they go to the organizer to continue the purchase. So we list everybody, whether that's a small, once a year track day all the way through. So I was racing then, and I just felt that there was a need for something a bit more. So we launched that. That was 10 years ago, believe it or not. And then in addition to that, so you can see how long it takes to build a brand. It takes a long time and a lot of no's from advertisers before you get there.
Ben, I'm going to be eating beans on toast for a bit longer yet.
Unfortunately, but then in addition to that, we then launched a publication called the Pro-Am Annuals. And again, that was from my experiences that I was going to race in again, like the Nürburgring, Nordschleife, coming back, and the biggest write-up I ever got was from my dad in the local newspaper. I didn't get much in the Autosport magazine and Motorsport News. So what I wanted to do was create a publication which was an annual. So it was the end of the year. We listed all the championship results from the BRSCC, CSCC, 750. They're all at the back with interviews with drivers, again, of all levels. And that's about 4 years old now. That's going really well. And then from that, I was having conversations with a lot of the clubs and the championships, and can see that their struggles, talking to exhibitors that were spending, north of £20,000 a year to go to other trade shows, and they wanted something again that was, cost effective, the right time of year, because they felt that when they were moving, they were getting too close to the start of the race season. And all of a sudden, we list all the track and test days. We speak with all the clubs. We had a great opportunity to launch a trade show, and that's what we did. So again, all of this has come from my own experiences and frustrations with the industry, in order to make it easier for the end user to get on track.
That's fantastic. And actually, it's great that you saw that. You spied the opportunity and you took it and you did something about it. Simon Lancashire has just messaged. He says, "Hi guys, looking forward to the show." Richard Goodman also, he says hello. There's a lot of people who, and like myself, it's almost one of the key highlights of the year, and having it close to Christmas as well is also quite nice. It's almost the season closer, isn't it? I know we did Motorsport Days, and then we had the EnduroCar Indy 500 finishing off, but it was sort of our closeout. So almost our end of season. It was the MySuperCar Christmas party, effectively.
Yeah.
Whilst doing it. But sorry, Ben, go on. Yes.
Yeah. So, I mean, just to kind of talk on that, the issue we had, it's a very crammed in, and trying to find track time on any circuit. We don't have a huge offering of circuits having the facilities that Silverstone does. So we had to try and adapt and find a way of it. But again, people are telling us that they wanted something at the end of the race season, that thinking time over Christmas, because if you're racing, realistically, you're going to start making your decisions at the end of, unless you're going to win the championship, unless you're in the top 3 or 4, you're going to start thinking, right, what am I going to do next year as that comes to an end? So we had to try and find the right time in order to launch it. We could do it in the summer, but again, people would be, thinking about racing at that point. We can do it in January and February, but again, that's very congested, and you would have already made your decision likely by then anyway. So it seemed like the right time in order to do it.
Absolutely, and it is a great time in the calendar as well. And I just remember it being very cold though in 2018. I remember that it was a bit warmer last year. But moving into 2019, the show grew, didn't it?
Yes, it did. So when I first launched it, the target for me was 1 hall and 12 garages. That's what I needed in order to kind of get everything over the line. That was my level of expectations to all the exhibitors. We filled 2 halls and all 40 garages in year 1. So that was way over my expectations, and I think it just showed the need for it. So yeah, when we went into the second year, we thought, right, well, how big can this go? What more can we do? But we tweaked a few things around to include more track time for people, which worked well. This year, we're into 3 halls, and we're starting to use more of the paddock space, because the garages are locked in and full, well, apart from 1 or 2 potentially left. And then so we've got paddock space, and then we can filter that through onto the track time. But again, I'm not trying to flood the circuit with lots of cars to not give people an opportunity to drive, because you do need that. But we cap it nice and early, so that there is the time that's spread out for people to to go out and drive. So yeah, we're very much bigger and better in every way compared to the last few years for this year.
Well, perfect. Well, in that case, what we want to do then, Ben, is we want to show you a video of our experiences, MySuperCar's experience at Motorsport Days 2019. Bigger, better. And yeah, we'll get Elaine to play that video now. This is actually one of my favourite videos we've ever done. Just listen to the McLaren as it thunders down the straight. We'll get Elaine to play that now. Put your sound up, everybody.
Wow, again.
Wow, yeah, I could watch that all day. I really, really could. That bit with that McLaren.
Absolutely,
got
absolutely.
Goosebumps right now. Got goosebumps now, Ben. I can tell you. Look, anybody watching, if you've got any questions for Ben, please do put them in. So, how have things developed from 2019 coming into 2020? I know things are slightly difficult at the minute. I heard a bit of talk that things might be getting even bigger this year. Is that so?
Yeah, we let's just rewind. A few months ago, we'd already made quite a few changes. What's going on with Silverstone, and there's things like the hotel that's been developed at Silverstone, the footbridge, all those things that are coming into play, which will transform our event again, because we're instantly comparable to other trade shows. A frustrating thing for me is that we're comparable to a 30-year-old trade show versus a show that's only a couple of years old. But yeah, so we've got a lot of those things that were going to happen, as I say, a few months ago. But we looked at it quite hard. Again, the things that were working, the things that weren't working. So we're asking the exhibitors and visitors to give a lot of feedback. And again, it's that networking opportunity, which is so key. Yeah. So we've actually launched an app for our show for this year. It is live, as it were. It's kind of come out of development stage, but I haven't put it onto the App Store or anything else as of yet. So that probably be done around July time, potentially August.
Will I have to get it on Android, Ben?
Yes, you will be. Yeah, it's on. It will be available on all of those, and it will be available online. And then that way, you would be able to, as a driver, you'll be able to book in and go, right, I want to go to that driver briefing session in the morning. I would like to go and speak to Brickcar to go out on track, or the F1000, or into racing in the Porsche, or whichever one you wanted to. And you can actually plan your day with everything and create a whole itinerary. You can go and choose which exhibitors that you would like to go and speak to, which conference session you want to go and listen to about getting into motorsport. So that's quite a big change. And again, I think with everything that's going on in the industry at the moment, where keeping social distancing and things like that, this app will kind of be a lot stronger, and it'd be a lot accessible for for people to do that. So that's a really big one for us. But in addition to that, we've got an esports area that we've got this year. Again, frustrations from me in the industry. I've got my PlayStation. I've managed to drive various sims over the year. But what do you do? What do you buy? And where do you start? So we want to put that at the show. So you can't ignore it at the moment. Sim racing is so, especially now, it's really come into into people's houses a lot more, and it's a lot more acceptable is probably the wrong word, but people use it a lot more than probably what they would have done again a matter of months ago. So it's only going to move further forward from that. So again, so what seat do I buy? What what rig do I need? What the whole things, and we'll be having those types of workshops going on, and those types of exhibitors there. So you can look at doing that. So you can do something in the virtual world. You can get out on track and speak to exhibitors. The other thing that's quite exciting, we've got ERA Championship coming along. So it's the first electric race car. Potentially going out on circuit, but that is an absolute minefield to organise, because it would need to go out on its own, because you can't have a McLaren full of petrol driving right next to an electric car. The two just don't work. So we would need to make sure we sort that one out before we do. But that they're going to be there talking about their championship again, because that is electric cars on track days and in motorsport is coming. Whether some people like it or not, it is an addition. But you can't beat hearing those McLarens and everything else coming down the straight while you're upstairs talking to people in the exhibition. So yeah, lots of new and exciting things that people wouldn't have seen last year. And to people that have first time coming to the show, I think they'll all be pretty impressed with the array of opportunity and cars that are going to be at the circuit.
Well, talking of people coming to the show, I can tell you somebody who is coming. Mark Williams has commented saying, "Afternoon, guys, enjoying the show. Looking forward to visiting MsD Live again this year." So we've definitely there'll definitely be three of us there.
Good to hear.
But if somebody is interested in coming to Motorsport Days Live, Ben, how do they register an interest? How do they get tickets? What do they do?
Yeah, I mean, to be honest with you, it's a big one. I don't know why I haven't mentioned it yet. For the last few years, you've paid to get into the event. Again, we are a small business trying to launch this, and we have to look at as many areas as possible in order for us to, financially stable, get in the show and deliver it and get it as good as we can. But I wanted to change that for this year. Again, we listened to what people were saying in the industry, and one of the biggest frustrations is when you go to these trade shows, you're paying to go to work, you're paying to go and you want to spend money elsewhere, and you want to put as much of that money into the pockets of the clubs, the championships, your race gear and everything else that you want to buy. You don't want to go paid to go to a trade show. So we looked at it and thought, well, let's just make it free to attend. Let's get rid of that £15-25 that people spend elsewhere, and let's spread that out to the rest of the industry. So really simple. Come onto our website, which we've got over 600 people registered already, which considering everything going on, they're still coming in daily. But you come to our website. There's a registration button on the top right hand corner. Very simple. We're using Eventbrite in order to bring that along, and people can just register, come on. But if you register early, you get access to things like the app. You'll be able to pre-book your driver briefing sessions, which get pretty full. I'm sure people can remember those. Again, with the conferences, and choose when you want to get out on track. So the earlier people get to register for their ticket, the more accessible to everything else that goes on at the event than they can do.
And we can register now, can we, Ben?
Yep, it's all live, ready to go.
And it's motorsportdays.live. That's the place to go do it?
That's the one.
Fantastic. Yep. It is scrolling along the bottom, so anybody watching who wants to get registered, do it now. Why not? The website is scrolling along the bottom. There it is, www.motorsportdays.live to get yourself. And it's free, so why on earth wouldn't you do it?
Absolutely. It's crazy. It is. It really is. You know, again, when you look at things of, you know, going to watch amateur racing or going to the, you know, to the circuit, you know, you pretty much have to pay to get in, you know, anywhere these days. And it just seems such an obvious barrier to remove and allow as many people to come along and, you know, again, network, do business, see what they want to drive and get out on track.
And it's very rare that you'll get, well, in fact, you don't get it, do you? An environment where you see so many different clubs, so many different cars, even if you just love motorsport, come down. It is such a treat. It is such a feast. And there's so much going on. I know you might think I have to say it because we're talking to you, Ben, but yeah. I say it from experience. That's the reason why. It really is one of my highlights of the year. I know it's coming. We get a nice little Airbnb and we just have such a good time. In fact, I was out on track as well with the 116 Trophy guys, and thanks to Team Brit as well for trusting me in one of their cars. Don't know why they did it, but I didn't stack it. So finally, what we want to do, Ben, as well, we do have your video from 2018 just to show everybody, just to give everybody another feel for Motorsport Days Live and what it's really, really all about. So we've got your official video from 2018 to show everybody as well. So let's bring that in and give everybody another little video treat, shall we?
Cool, perfect.
Tell you, it's some venue, isn't it, Silverstone?
It really is, and you know, it's a lot of people, you know, don't always like it. They find because it's expensive. Silverstone is expensive, but when you've got a circuit that's adhering to 4 different regulations from, you know, Formula One, MotoGP, which you don't get really at many, you know, worldwide circuits. And you really don't. And when I've been lucky enough to visit a lot of circuits all over the world. It's phenomenal. It really is. And the facilities are absolute, you know, first rate. And that's why it's such a good venue for us. And it's got room for us to grow into something, you know, much more, you know, and as we will. But just to kind of highlight on that video, that I made that, you know, it's something that, you know, we as a business, again, I had to learn how to do. It's not, we didn't have the money to go and think, right, well, let's go and give it to somebody to go and create it. I mean, the film in itself was done over the last couple of years in order to do it. And, you know, we're very much I'm not trying to pull people's heartstrings, but we are a small business, and we're learning from mistakes that we may have got wrong in previous years. We're learning from the things that we absolutely got right. And I think that that's what makes us so adaptable. So if anyone's got any other changes, or they want to pick up the phone and say something to me, I'm absolutely all ears, because I'm trying to build this for all of us. I'm not building it for me. I'm trying to make it easier for the guy that's probably watching this that's never done a track day before, and thinking, right, what do I do? Right, we'll come to the show and get involved. Roll it with sleeves, go and talk in the garages, or there's somebody's that a bit stagnant in their championship and they want something else a bit more exciting. You've got every club, every championship. We really have that, they're all there. Or again, that you want to buy your next race suit but you don't know which one to get. Come and talk to people. That's the best way of doing it. Again, I'm probably over the years been a bit quiet, thinking, well, he's got a really nice race suit, I'll never be able to afford that. I think you'll be surprised how with people coming on board with HRX and everybody else, there's so much offering out there, and companies like Walero, and I could go on, but there's so much that people can get involved in. And as I say, the point I'm making is that we're adaptable. We're a young business trying to make this show work. So come along, support us by turning up, and hopefully we can grow this into something much bigger and better over the years to come.
Absolutely. And look, Ben, it's been nothing short of an absolute pleasure catching up with you. We did talk about this before. We're obviously both golfers, so we must get out on the golf course soon. Yep. You told me you used to play off single handicap, so I'm going to hold you to that. Sorry, go on. You were going to say.
No. I'll. As I say, that was some time ago, but yeah.
Yeah. No. You said it to me now. I'm holding you to it. I need as many shots as I can get. So just to recap, everybody, Motorsport Days Live 2020 is, of course, go for the 20th and 21st of November this year. It's free to come along as well. Just go to www.motorsportdays.live and you can register your interest. Register now as well, sooner rather than later, and you get access to a few extra bits and bobs, such as the app, which is going to be absolutely fantastic. Ben Whibley, it's been an absolute pleasure. Thank you so much for your time this afternoon, this Friday afternoon, isn't it? Normally we're getting excited about the weekend and going out and doing bits and bobs, but I imagine we're pretty much going to be indoors playing esports and watching reruns of BTCC and stuff.
We will be, but I just on my behalf as well, just obviously thank you to you guys as well for putting forward your videos and putting the content out there. At the moment it's people can sit there and not do a lot, or people can get involved and roll their sleeves up and do it. So look, well done to you and your team as well. I think done an excellent job. The same for my team. I wouldn't be here where I am now. I've got a huge amount of people. There's just a couple of us behind the scenes that make this happen. And in addition to that, thank you to all the key workers and NHS that of everything they've done over and going to have to carry on doing. And I think it's pretty frightening times that we're in at the moment. But November 20th, 21st, see you all there, and look forward to shaking everybody's hands and getting out on track.
Perfect. Couldn't have said it any better myself, Ben. Cool. Yeah, Ben, stay safe, take care, and look, we will catch up trackside sooner rather than later. And everybody, thank you.
Thank you very much. Cheers. Thank you.
Thank you. And that's a wrap.